St Peter's Church of England Primary School is in East Bridgeford, an affluent village in Nottinghamshire. In 2000, St Peter's decided to opt out of the County Council's school catering scheme and instead provide their own meals using locally produced and organic food. Since then, St Peter's has become a trailblazer for healthy school meals. This programme looks at St Peter's recipe for success and explores how the head teacher and catering manager have made healthy diet and fitness central components of the school's overall approach.
We're a take-care school. That's a simple enough way of describing the ethos of a church school, but it's also a way that we can describe how we are, where a young child can understand it and an adult can understand it on their own level. And that's basically we take care of ourselves, we take care of each other, we take care of the world and try to do something about that.
The school aims to place physical, social and health education at the heart of school life.
We see learning in a growing sense in its broadest focus, which involves all those other things as well we try to give children, both in but also outside of the classroom, to help them grow and become confident and feel valued in as many different ways as possible.
And that includes food. The school's decision to provide school meals independently of the council's caterers is based on a desire to provide much healthier meals and to develop a real knowledge about food amongst the pupils.
The food that my kids were eating at that time were processed, very, very processed food, chicken in any shape you wanted, fish exactly the same. So nothing that resembled fish, nothing that resembled chicken.
It's Jeanette Orry's passion and determination to achieve healthier meals which has been the driving force behind the transformation of school dinners at St Peter's.
I wanted to teach the children that chicken is not a dinosaur. And the same with the vegetables. You know, vegetables could be fresh, they could be nice.
I knew I had the kind of cook who was up for the challenge. Yeah, and that's very important. If you're ever thinking about doing this yourself, it's got to be head teacher and cook, both wanting it from their own perspectives.
The combination of David's leadership and Jeanette's skill in the kitchen has now been recognised on the national stage. St Peter's has won a National Healthy Schools Award and an Organic Food Award from the Soil Association, as well as many others.
When we opted out, all I wanted to do was to feed the children better. I couldn't tell you where the children's meat came from. So you'd look on the packet and it was probably from 11 different cows from 12 different countries. You know, do we want to do that? No, I didn't. So I literally got in the car, went to the producer and said, please tell me where your meat comes from, how local is it? And I went from farm to see if they would be interested.
Jeanette's been able to negotiate good deals on prices with suppliers because she can guarantee demand for 38 weeks of the year. Wherever possible, the produce is also organic.
When it's organic, it's been specifically reared. It hasn't been pumped full of antibiotics. It hasn't been given feed that's, we don't know what it's got in it. It's totally natural. But we have to also be realistic. You have to be realistic about what you're doing. You can't just turn around and say, no, I'm going to go totally organic, or yes, I'm going to go totally local. We have to combine all three because we're on a budget, a very, very tight budget.
School dinners at St Peter's are not subsidised, but at £1.75 a head, they work out at only 10p more than those provided by the local authority. The uptake of school meals amongst the 210 pupils is 80%, and it's risen since Jeanette's Healthy Dinners initiative.
My favourite school dinner is spaghetti bolognese, and I like it because it's tasty.
My favourite dinner is roast lamb. I really like roast lamb because it's really chewy.
I like eating carrots and broccoli.
My favourite dinner is turkey and mashed potato and some peas because turkey fills you up quite a lot and it's healthy.
I like carrots and salad.
The school's mission to transform the way food is valued and enjoyed even extends to the way that it's served.
When they sit down at dinner time, there's a tablecloth, they sit down to with knives and forks, with plates, with dishes. They get to learn an appreciation of good food, of social education.
Local senior citizens are also invited to lunch at the school once a week, reinforcing the broader social aspects of eating. This is seen as part of the children's citizenship education.
I believe that food and education are very, very strongly linked. If we give the children a good lunch, hopefully they're going to concentrate better in the afternoon, but they also get an appreciation about good food.
Spaghetti bolognese or macaroni cheese?
They'll learn better because they're concentrating, because their tummies are full, so therefore they can sit in an afternoon. They're not hungry, and because they haven't had the crisps, the chips, the Coke, the E numbers, they're not climbing the walls either. So they're very steady, and that is really important. The main ingredients for having a successful school meal service, in my opinion, a good head teacher, a good cook, and good kitchen staff.
But the emphasis on healthy eating doesn't end in the dining hall. It's on the curriculum and begins with the early years children when they first start attending school.
Who had vegetables at dinner time today? Hands up. You remember?
Cucumber.
Cucumber, you
We
could.
can have sweet corn.
And you could have sweet corn as well. Hands up if you can tell me what these are. Oliver. Potatoes. And where do we get potatoes from, Oliver?
Farm.
But where do they grow on the farm?
In the grass.
Not in the grass, in the mud.
This emphasis on healthy eating continues throughout the children's school careers. By year 3, the children have moved on to more sophisticated analyses of food types.
What sort of things are protein, Matthew? We're looking at cheese as a source of calcium, but this lesson really was to get the children to work in a group and to investigate something and to work out how a test needs to be fair. And I've bought a mild cheddar, a medium cheddar and a strong cheddar. With your partners, with your 3, one of you's going to be blindfolded first, one of you's going to record, and the other one is going to actually give the person the cheese to taste. I don't think it's good enough just to give them the food at lunchtime without them the understanding behind why they need to eat a really balanced, healthy meal. And as it's built on year after year, children have a really good knowledge of what they're eating and what each different food group does for them.
No, which number?
Number 3.
No.
The school's approach combines healthy eating with fitness and sport as well.
We're trying to bring the idea of health again into its broadest context, and we've done a lot of work on healthy eating both at lunch times, at break times in general, but also within the curriculum. Then we said, well, let's broaden health out again, and let's bring PE and sport under the banner of health. Eat well, look after yourself, look after each other, but also exercise well, because all those things together will give you the kind of life you deserve and need.
Right, on your feet then, let's go. Right. This is SAQ and it stands for Speed, Agility and Quickness. We combine that with a body awareness and conditioning circuit, which is what we're doing at the moment. That basically includes more balance work with the fit balls, the exercise balls, stability discs, or a lot about balance, because balance really is the key to it's the foundation for every movement. A lot of children get left out in team sports, hockey, netball, football. They don't tend to excel. You can see the progression a lot more within this kind of circuit-based activity rather than a team sport.
What we're going to do, we need to warm up first. When we warm up, remember, style and skill. I'm a great believer that children should have the opportunity to participate and enjoy sporting activities. You know, if you're the boy particularly who doesn't like football, you might easily think in today's world that you don't like sport, that you're no good at it. Well, actually, if you pick up a hockey stick or pick up a table tennis bat or a lacrosse stick or just go running, you find, oh, I'm really good at that, or I really enjoy that. If you have to lift it, that's when you've got to put a lot of topspin on. Table tennis works well in school. You can put it up almost anywhere there's a space. Style. Well played. I offer table tennis on a Thursday night to Year 4, 5 and 6, around about 90 children, and as many as 50 of them express an interest. Well, perhaps I just need a little touch, James.
Introducing unusual sports such as lacrosse and bringing in outside instructors to teach them has also proved effective in getting more children to join in.
Lacrosse, pop lacrosse, has been introduced to schools in Nottinghamshire probably about 10 years ago. It's been played, one of the attractions is it can be played on any surface, in a playground, on grass, in a sports hall. Usually the competition is played between squads of 8 aside, with 5 on the pitch at any one time. But the attraction, the children love it because the game has not actually, a lot of them don't know the game before they're introduced to it at school. And therefore they have no preconceived ideas about it and they take to it very well.
Very good.
Food and fitness go hand in hand at St Peter's. At playtime, the children are encouraged to eat fruit and vegetables, while sweets and fizzy drinks are banned. Another aspect of the school's approach to healthy living involves getting pupils interested in where their food comes from. Jeanette regularly takes children on visits to farm shops, where they can learn more about how the food they eat is produced.
So what we're going to do is we're going to just take you around the shop. You're going to see all local cheeses, all the meat. You will look at the veg and we'll look at the milk. I wanted to get the children to understand about food, to educate them about food, about the surrounding areas that they live in. Crockwell Bishop is only just up the road, isn't it? So that's really, really local. So local because your local economy does count. Where you live does count.
It's heavy. Who's going to come round and get this off me? It's really heavy.
Yeah? You got it? Hopefully next year I want to get you out onto that farm to see where it's all grown. Well, that's beetroot, that's a marrow. Got no additives, no E-numbers, no nothing. All good quality meat. The children at East Bridgeford, it's been a resounding success. They value the food, they know where their food is coming from, they're very well educated within food, it's worked.
Can anyone else tell me why school dinners are good?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you first.
Because Mrs. Horry makes them for us.